Well, it's Sunday. It can only be our weekly recap on From Season 2 with tonight episode 9, which was
Yeah.
an episode.
Oh, what an episode it was. There was a lot happening in this episode. And also, it is the episode before, unfortunately, the season finale.
Mhm. So the episode was called Ball of Magic Fire. Panic spread through town as the residents face a chilling new threat to their survival, and Jim realizes the magnitude of the mistake he made by enlisting Randall in his cause.
it's it's so funny because we read that summary on I think episode 3, and now just
Uh-huh.
seeing
I
Mm.
know. Well, there's a lot to unpick there because, well, they're giving us some answers. Some answers, not really. What, maybe? Hmm. I'm actually on the fence on that. It could be answers, it could be not answers. We don't know. We had some tense scenes as well, and the cicadas seems to be truly the new things and need to be well. I think we need some insect eradication thing because well,
I I think cicadas might have the best rebrand next to Japan after
mm,
after everything that happened in this episode.
oh damn yes, that was something. So as usual, we actually found ourselves with a little bit of character development, I would say, with
Really? Because it seemed like everyone was just in a state of panic this entire episode.
well, the police station scene I see it as character development because we actually had a very nice actually like conversation uh between, can't
Mm,
remember the name now.
true.
Oh, damn.
And we also had basically Randall, I think, developing a little bit more than just surface level.
Just being Randall, and JB is useless as usual. Uh,
Yeah, so this episode started off with where we left off at the end of episode 8, where there was Richie running out of the house who was just saying, "Oh, somebody help me." I'm not sure if that was his wife or
I
what.
don't have a clue. It could be girlfriend. Well, I don't know. I know he was not an acting coach because his acting was terrible. But yeah, moving
Yeah,
on.
was this a favor to the family?
Yeah, must have been a cousin of the director or something because
Please put
damn,
my
the
son in your
acting.
show.
Ooh.
But yeah, I mean, and the scene that we saw the corpse, and what a corpse it was, you know.
It was a corpse, and I did actually tell you, like, they really remind me of the corpse we've seen lately in all the episodes of season 1 and season 2, which was what happened when the monsters attacked the humans, which make me wonder, because we never actually seen them do what they do to the humans. We just saw the aftermath. So could it be actually this
That
kind
is
of
true.
reveal that we actually they were not killing the humans, but they were doing something else with it.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, we still don't seem to have any answers about that child or whatever was in that cage that they found in the tunnels.
Yeah, that's true. And there's one thing, and I'm worried, and one of us subscribers actually mentioned in one in the comments, which was the series done a very bad job at presenting the new characters, and I do agree now more than ever because apart from Randall and maybe Elgin, the other character pretty much are in the background, and
I mean,
the
well,
most
except
of
Mary,
Mary,
quite contrary.
quite contrary. But like, I'll give you an example. Like, this old lady that kept appearing all the time. Every time she's appearing, she's conveniently set up her plot points. That's all she does. She misses plot points. You say in the state, oh, it's going to be a plot point. She actually appeared with actually the morphine to actually set up the fact that actually the girlfriend was a drug addict. And now she just conveniently say, "Oh, you're pregnant." Just like how random. Just what a random thing to say.
Well, Randall did say that there might be some people that were in on it. Maybe she's one of them. I don't know.
Or she was just conveniently there to actually allow the writers to set up some things because, well, they only have 10 episodes. They can't really set up things organically like they would do in the olden days, when we had 22 episode series. When we could actually
Yeah,
spend time with the characters.
yeah. We keep referencing those 22 episode seasons. Like take a hint, networks.
Yeah, it does actually. But this for this kind of show is actually so important because we do have a mystery, but we having a cast. We're actually a cast of characters, and unfortunately, these 10 episodes don't allow us to just spend time with the characters. What Lost done really perfectly at the beginning, let's forget the last season of Lost, but was actually to set up actually these characters. We were seeing them in the past. We were actually try to understand them. We were seeing their struggles, and actually this was really well played in the show. In here, this is not the case. Like, for example, it took me a bit of time to realize that the blonde lady that appeared, we're going to talk about it later, but in the van, in the RV, was actually Boyd's wife. Because we didn't spend enough time with her. We actually saw her in the flashback, pretty much, and we saw at the beginning of the season in a whole, but we
Yeah.
didn't really have anything about her at all. This is a big issue for me in that show because they need to actually present the characters and not actually have this background thing that actually just being used conveniently to actually further the stories, and that's the only issue I have in that show, really. It's they don't have the time to set up these characters properly.
Yeah. Well, we did learn about something else that I guess could be a theory. Is that Sarah now says that maybe the fears of the victims are spawning in the woods, basically.
Hmm. Which could make sense because we do have actually like for the entire series really from season one onwards, we actually have a lot of notion about fairy tales.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be the case.
Yeah, I mean, also we never really heard about the spiders again.
I know. I know, just why did you bring the spiders? You don't want to do it further to them afterwards. And I really thought we would have had actually some really good in conversation about what happened in the woods because we didn't really see what happened in the woods in the police station, but we haven't.
Yeah, I did find it interesting in the opening sequence this time that they had a car that was being abducted.
Hmm.
I wonder
Yeah.
what's going on with that. It's the first time I've seen that.
I don't know. I think they're setting up aliens. I don't think they're setting up aliens because we've been mentioning it like for the entire YouTube channels that we are seeing a lot of symbolism, and there's one symbolism that just appeared now, it's number three,
Yeah.
which is very important in witchcraft.
Yeah, they oh, I think they might have made a big mistake killing Smiley, as we like to call
Oh, we're gonna
it.
mention, I would say maybe we're actually having the creation of a new one, but
Yeah, I mean, the fact that all of those came out of Smiley, I guess, and pretty much left the body like desiccated. It was like, okay, and it's like now they're going into another host, if you will. So it's kind of creepy, actually.
it is
Mm.
creepy. For me, I have a feeling that like especially for what we saw at the end of the episode, that we actually might be witnessing the creation of one of those. Because let's be honest, the cicadas come out of Smiley,
Hmm.
and now we saw Randall getting those inside his mouth.
Yeah, but I don't know if these two. Well, the other one with the music, because the music presented itself before they killed Smiley, right? Are they unalived? Sorry, YouTube.
Oops.
So yeah,
It
I'm
was
pretty.
already unalive, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm pretty sure that the music has started before that. So do you think there's any like correlation with the music and the creation of them?
I have a feeling that actually we still haven't seen the main threat.
What was ever in that camper was so yeah. So the whole scene where we Randall decides to throw the keys into the woods for whatever reason. Can't stand this guy. I really cannot.
Hmm.
And then they had decided that they have to stay in the RV. That Jim and his family were driving, and chaos kind of ensues. And
Hmm.
I find that this part of the show really had my heart racing because why did they all stop like that? I think that was much like Donna. I was just like, they've never stopped like that before. Why did they just stop?
No, exactly. It was just like, and they stop and stay smiling, and we just started to hear this thing coming from the bottom, from the earth, and that was terrifying. I agree.
Yeah, and Jim's like, oh, I don't. There's no space. There's no space for anything up under there. And I'm like, if dude, if you open that,
I know it's not even that. Just like, well, we actually mentioned again, there's tunnels
hmm.
everywhere in the woods. Something coming out from the tunnels. We still don't know, and I do believe that actually the main threat hasn't been shown yet.
Well, I mean, something's got to be keeping those kids in cages, right?
Yeah, we still don't know what happened to these kids. We actually know that the lighthouse might have been a place when kids were imprisoned for some reason. We don't know why though.
Yeah, and Tabitha is referencing her. I mean, I thought it was a lighthouse that she drew, but she's saying it's a tower.
I
Don't
think it's a
know,
lighthouse.
but
Maybe the writers don't know either. Mm.
but but yeah, she's now convinced that the way to get out of this is to go to that tower and I guess save the kids, rescue the kids.
I think she doesn't know what she's doing either. But yeah, she got at least she got a plan. She's just like I guess. But unfortunately, well, I don't think we will be able to see what happened because we just only have one episode left. So,
Yeah, and Victor, bless his heart, he's just like, oh, why is everything? Why don't you guys just leave stuff alone? you know.
hmm. No,
He's just
exactly.
trying to tell them bad things happen when you go looking for answers, and it seems to be getting worse. Sarah said it best: is that it's the whole ambiance is just
Mm,
getting like not good. It wasn't good
exactly.
before, but now it just feels like something this wicked, something wicked this way comes. Basically.
Hmm. And there was another thing when we were watching the show, and I was just reminding me of the fact that Victor was stuck underground, and when he came out, the entire town was slaughtered. And they mentioned basically like the guy went weird, like I remember his name, the guy went weird, and we assumed that guy might have killed the town. But thinking back, we are talking cicadas. Cicadas have got 27 years, I think, of cycles.
Hmm.
Could they be the cicadas who killed the entire town? And actually, now the cicadas are back, and they plan to do the same thing because they did say you can't fall asleep. If you fall asleep, you die.
Yeah, this and
So,
that the whole fall asleep thing is also just came so out of left field to me, but it is definitely presenting a very, very much more terrifying threat because I feel like this is
mm,
something that they can't really run from.
no,
No,
exactly.
you can't hide from sleep.
No, exactly. Well, the Nightmare on Elm Street did very well, at least on the first three episode
Hmm.
season or whatever. But yeah, for me, I have a feeling now that the cicadas are actually important because they are cycles, and even Victor said that the tree started to lose the leaves, and they never do that before. So it seems we actually go into another cycle. And
Yeah,
I
and
need to go back into, I will need to go back to the first season when we actually saw what happened with when Victor saw all these dead bodies to see if the trees were actually had leaves on them or not.
we do. They do play season one a lot on TV, so I feel like we need to really, you know,
Mm.
just
Mm.
watch it for the sake of watching it.
But overall, it was a pretty good episode with a lot of maybe a beginning of answers. We don't have everything with a beginning of an answers about different things. We finally know the dream of Elgin, which was
Yeah,
pretty disappointing personally, but
so many nursery rhymes too. I mean, I know you guys might not get the inside joke, but we've had a lot of nursery rhymes going on this week. So.
we did. Oh, damn. Oh, don't remind me.
So yeah, this is another one. And basically, to sum it all up, it means if you take one of them, they're going to take three of yours, pretty much.
Exactly. Pretty much. And that's what's happening because we saw Randall, Mary, and Jim's daughter
Julie.
started to convulse. What?
Mm.
Julie? Julie.
Yeah. See, I told you I was going to remember the names this time.
This time, yes. Convulse, and we actually saw pretty much what Mary saw, so we believe it's the same thing that was seen by Julie, which is the cicadas attacking them. And to be honest, the entire image, I don't know if you noticed the face of Mary with actually the eyes went all white.
Hmm.
That was terrifying, and I was thinking, oh gosh, she's turning. She's turning, and she's actually, oh gosh. That make me shivers thinking about this because it will be the first time we see someone turn, and
Well, speaking of,
she's.
okay, so speaking of that,
Mm-hmm,
also this made me think about cicadas, how they leave their shells when they
mm-hmm.
emerge. We find them all on trees and everything here. They're like the empty shells. Uh, do we know if that's what happened with the woman in the beginning? Because it looked like something had came out of her.
Yeah, I know.
so, so I wonder if we're going to see her like walking about, at night.
Could be. But the funny stuff is, like the first season, we were just thinking about the people in the wood being the biggest threat, and now we just realized it's just like a
The tip
bit
of the
like
iceberg.
yeah, they're a bit like like the level one monsters you see in Final Fantasy. They're scary at first, but now actually they're just okay. As long as you don't go outside, you'll be fine. There
Yeah.
is actually like, however, now we got to cicadas. And I truly believe there's something else. There has to be something else because,
Well, whatever was coming up out of that RV.
and who's controlling the music box?
Oh yes, and not to mention, Randall did point it out that radio was not connected in any way, and it just started playing the
Exactly.
music. So
And the magic bullet was not magic at all. It was actually useless. It didn't do anything.
that we know of, yeah.
Sorry. You see how many times boys actually
Yeah,
been
but
shooting that nurse?
remember, it took him a while for Smiley to react to it as well. So
Do you think they would actually have not shown us the result if he actually worked?
yes,
Okay. If you want.
with this show, yes, yes. It
I don't
just
know. I
seems like
feel,
it just seems like something where they'll go back and they'll just be like, oh my god, they're unalived.
yeah, maybe. I don't know. The thing is now, I just realized that a lot of our prediction we actually made at the beginning of this show didn't happen. That we're gonna get a wedding.
No, that's season 3.
Maybe. Maybe we don't know. I did
But
love the fact they talk about the baby and what if the baby got found and came out of on Fatima like a monster. And I was just it's exactly what I was thinking about last week. So
yeah, he was concerned about that definitely. The fact that she's not supposed to be pregnant, like they told her that she was incapable of ever having children. Well, I
mm,
definitely would kind of be a little worried too. So-
yeah, hmm yeah, I agree.
and,
It's
and let's not mention that these two, him and Fatima, are the same people we keep seeing in the intro, like they're Adam and Eve or something. So what?
That's true, but I just don't know if it's this stuff actually. This stuff we see at the intro was not something they started to set on season one, and they kind of set it aside. I don't know. It's very weird.
Well, the fact that they're showing him and Fatima, and now she's pregnant and she's not supposed to be able to get pregnant, is giving something supernatural is about to pop.
Mm,
This is not American Horror Story though. I don't think it'll be that
a
guy popping out
disappointment.
who's like the spawn of Satan or something.
Hmm Yeah, yeah. So it's not American Horror Story, so we don't expect to be a disappointment. Um,
Tell us how you
yeah.
really feel.
Oh yes, I do. Especially, I've been telling you, American Horror Story is very good at the beginning, and actually they fail at conclusion of show. They really fail at giving us answers.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. When we reviewed next season of American Horror Story, that's going to be fun. Um, mm,
Well, also let's talk about Sarah. Sarah was really going through it. She was
hmm
really going through it with Kenny, and that she just kept talking. And I've never seen Kenny so aggressive before, but he's just like, shut up.
I know. I mean, this is actually maybe that's one of the things that disappointed me in that episode is it started when she started to talk about the woods, and I was just like, yes, we're finally gonna know what happened to her in the woods because we never knew actually what happened. We know she went the wood, pushed her board in the tree, but we never knew what happened afterwards. And she started to talk about the woods, and I was just like, yes, yes, yes. And of course, Kenny tell her to shut up. Kenny, come on. We want development. We want actually truth and answers.
Yeah, but she was really set out on ending it all. I thought she was just gonna open the door and just walk out, but
Mm,
she didn't. Instead, she decided to look for the firearm over there, and she was playing Russian roulette. I was
mm.
like, "Calm
And
down,
kudos
girlie."
for the actress. Kudos for the
I
actress. The
know.
actress is really, really good. Which actually kind of was very weird because we had this guy who actually was such a bad actor, especially when he tells people not to sleep. Oh my God.
I think, unlike you, I have always been kind of indifferent to Jim. I don't dislike him, but I didn't like him.
Oh.
But I think this episode really made me start to really go towards more. I don't like this character.
I find Jim has been actually the reason why everything turned to caca,
Yeah, just no
pretty
accountability
much.
on his part. He's just like, oh, Randall, like this wasn't supposed to happen, and like, dude, what do you think was going to happen?
And we're just like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm just like, you're sorry for what? To actually created a monster? He just
and
like because that's what they did.
and then when they get to the colony house,
Mm.
he opens the door to go back out, and was just like,
Sit down.
your family is fine, okay? They are inside, just like you need to stay inside.
And let's be honest, he didn't really care about his family when he went to the RV.
Yeah. Well, no, he told Julie. Remember, he's like,
Oh,
oh Julie, yeah, I'm going to the RV. Just don't tell anyone. I'm safe.
no, exactly. This is actually that keep being the running joke about it that people not talking to each other, which was actually funny when actually like, what you mean you're pregnant? They turn around and say, yeah, which was pretty funny because We kept telling all the time that oh, they are not talking to each other, and it seemed that the writers actually put it as a joke as well in the show. Kind of make me laugh.
Yeah, this I feel like another thing in this episode was the Mary's whole thing where, she was just going through withdrawals pretty bad.
Mm.
And what if her and Julie and, Randall are like some new big bad that won't be very good? Because we're thinking it might be, the smiley people. Or what if it's something worse? So let's hope not.
For me, it was just more the fact that they came out of Smiley's body.
Hmm.
So that's why I was thinking they might be creating new ones. And it would be actually interesting to have actually Mary turning into one and actually have a girlfriend having to deal with the fact that actually the love of her life is actually there, slowly turning into one of those.
And
That
every
could be
night when
interesting.
she looks out the window, Mary's just there smiling with her bad dye job.
Yeah. Mm. Open the
uh,
door.
please don't do that again.
But
But
yeah.
I think for me, this episode was just a lot of kind of answers, but kind of more. It gave me more of anxiety about what's coming because I feel like whatever is coming, is way worse than anything we've been exposed to so far. And
Hmm.
whatever is controlling that music box,
And the
at least we
funny
haven't
is,
seen. At least we haven't seen that creepy ballerina again. Now she was
mhm.
creepy.
Funny you say that because I read an article with the actress playing Fatima, and she
Mhm.
actually said let's say that her character is the best she actually had is actually now. That
I mean,
season three it get much worse. So yeah.
oh, well, season three has not been officially confirmed by the network, but the people that work on the production have said that they apparently have contracts for season three. So let's hope.
Yes, less so because unfortunately we only have 1 hour, 45 minutes left.
Mhm.
And I don't think we'll be able to get a lot of answers in 45 minutes, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to extend it just a little bit because why is it I think the episode we watched tonight was like 44 minutes?
Mm-hmm. Well,
Like
we need the advertising.
I need True Blood style. And no, advertisement is not uh I don't feel like that's an excuse because this does come on a streaming network as well that doesn't have ads. So I want to need them to make it a little bit longer. I don't care, maybe 10 minutes longer because 44 minutes and you're leaving me with all these answers. I don't like it. You can leave me all these questions. Yeah, it's a no for me. So.
Or maybe a bit more episode maybe would be nice. I really see like that show would have been so much better if it has been made early 2000.
Hmm.
Because I really feel that you really see they care for these characters, but we actually don't have the time to see it properly, unfortunately, because they need to move on with the story. And for what I've seen, a lot of people already say that it's too slow. So yeah, I don't know what they actually found slow about it because it's going quite fast, I feel.
Yeah, and a fun fact, I guess. This episode was directed, you said, by the guy who directed Child's Play 3?
Yes, indeed.
I love that. So
Chucky.
I didn't wear
Hmm.
my Chucky shirt in vain.
Exactly. So overall, what did you think of that episode? What do you say?
I thought it was good. I thought it was good. I thought there was a lot of suspense, a lot of build up. It really made me think about what's coming and what has already happened and try to, put two and two together. Because for me, I still don't know how the music correlates to the monsters. I That to me, I still lost on that one. But as for everything else, I'm like, yes, finally, a little bit more. When Sarah was
Mm,
talking about the woods and how there could be the fears of people, that makes sense to me. You know,
hmm. It
it
does.
makes sense.
No, it does.
and and I can't wait for the next episode, but unfortunately, that'll be the last one for like
Mm,
a year. Mm. What
yeah.
about you? What did you think about?
I liked it. I just feel that maybe we're starting to see an issue in actually what they are doing with the show, which is giving us a lot of questions and not enough answers. Uh, and I think it's also something that happened in a lot of shows when they came to a second season. Season one, they actually have already set up and everything else. When they actually renewed for season two, usually they have take a bit of time for them to find the footing. I mentioned one of the comments. I did mention like Mr. Robot, who season two was subpar compared to the entire series afterwards. And that's why I think they are struggling to actually find a balance between answers, questions, and actually dramas between characters right now. And
Hmm.
for me, the old lady is the perfect example of a character very badly written because she only come here to actually give us plot points. And for me, I'm sorry, but I was sitting sitting early on, and I was just thinking, what if this old lady could actually be a scientist? I was doing this experiment in the 50s, and she's dying, and she's coming to the town to actually see what happened to that experiment, and because she's dying, but she's actually know everything what's happening, and she could be actually someone wanted to see what happened to the creation she's made in the 50s. It could have been something like this, like a backstory about that character. But now it feels that character is just there to actually, oh, I got morphine. There, take the morphine. Or, oh, you're pregnant. Uh,
and let's not forget that she is expendable because she's already, saying she's about to,
to,
die. So
yeah. But even the bus driver, I found the bus driver was so interesting at the beginning because she was very like a strong-headed woman, and I was just like,
it was the uniform. It was the uniform. Mhm.
yeah, I was just wanting the strong black woman, just like who could have been like playing off actually Donna. That's the way I was actually picturing it to become, but it hasn't
Mm.
happened that way. And
We
this
don't.
is a
We don't know. To be honest, we still don't know enough about the characters on the bus. I mean, we know enough about Mary. Don't really know Elgin's whole backstory. You know,
we don't.
uh, don't really know Randall's backstory. There's a lot of people we just don't know their backstory, and it wasn't the same as when like Jade and and some more people came last season because we knew Jade was a software engineer. We knew that he had a huge company and he sold his software. Like we
Hmm.
knew all of that about Jade. We don't really know anything, about except Mary that her and the doctor were engaged and she
Hmm.
left and she fell off the wagon and that's pretty much it.
But we do. This is actually the big issue, and that's what I keep saying. It's just like we're having a huge amount of characters in that show, and unfortunately, they don't have only have 10 episodes, 44 minutes per episode to actually spend time, move on the story, plus talking about the characters. And they already got a team of character which is so well rounded. Kenny, Jim, if I don't like Jim, but Victor, Jade. This
Yeah.
character, Donna, they're actually very well rounded already, and they don't really like. That mean it's easier for them to actually keep going to these characters to actually move on with the story. So we actually have these background characters that actually become canon foders in some ways, because we still haven't had much of a murders lately. It's been
Yeah.
pretty tame. So apart from that death in the beginning, it was pretty tame compared to last season. So yeah, I enjoyed it, but I hope that they will be able to find more of a balance on season three. because we need answers. Like
Well,
who was talking at the radio, for example.
it was all a dream.
Oh, please don't. Or they're all
well,
dead. They're in paradise, or they're
the
okay.
person that was on the phone in Kenny's dream was also sounded like the same guy that had been on the radio. So
Exactly.
who knows? But
But he's
we'll see next.
controlling the music box. So
We'll see next week if they give us
mm,
any more answers. So
yeah. So there you go.
yeah, I mean, and as this show wraps up, we originally started this channel to, I guess, talk about From. But if you have any suggestions on things we need to talk about other than From, please leave a comment because we would
Mhm.
love to see what the recommendations you give us.
I agree.
Okay, well,
Anyway,
if you,
so see you next week, I guess.
see you next week.